Hey guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and once again I am cooking on my lunch break, but today I am making a couple of dishes for my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday was yesterday and we are going to do him a steak and lobster dinner tonight. So I am trying to prep his dessert and the bread on my lunch break so that after work I can do the rest of the side dishes. I already have the steak marinating and Chris is going to take care of the lobsters for me tonight. It's lobsters we got in the Keys last year. So I'm going to go ahead and make my Aunt Ethel's pecan pie recipe. I asked my dad, I said, what do you want for dessert this year for your birthday? And he's just so easy. He's like, I don't know, you can make me a cake, you can do whatever. And I said, Dad, would you prefer pie this year instead of a cake? I know you really like pie. We don't have to stay traditional and do a cake. And he said, I think I really would like a pecan pie. So that is what I am making, and I pulled my Aunt Ethel's pecan pie recipe out of my cookbook. We have a family cookbook, and I'll flip the camera around and show you what her recipe looks like. Okay guys, this is just a page of the cookbook I pulled out. I have it in these clear screen, the sheet protectors, so I can just pull it out and then put it back in the cookbook. And this one right here is her pecan pie recipe called Danny's Pecan Pie. And she always makes this for her son Danny. So this is the recipe that I'm going to follow this year. And it's 3 eggs, 2/3 cup sugar, a dash of salt, a cup of corn syrup, a 1/3 cup of butter. The only difference on my recipe right now is I did not have any dark corn syrup. I just had the light corn syrup, so I don't think it really matters personally. It's just what I have. That's what I'm going to use. And I believe it also calls for 1 cup of pecans. I'll probably throw a few extra in there because I'll use up this bag, and I probably have about 1.5 cups of pecans. And so I'll just go ahead and throw a few extra pecans, and you bake for a little less than an hour at 350. This is a super easy recipe to make, and I will go ahead and get everything measured out and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I have everything pretty much measured and separated out. I forgot to mention the only thing I do add extra is a little bit of vanilla. You can put that in or not, it's up to you. I just like the vanilla flavoring. I like the way it tastes added into most recipes, so I add vanilla into a lot of my baked dishes the way people put garlic into, all of their main dishes for dinner. I just really like fresh vanilla, homemade vanilla in things. So, excuse me, I'm sitting here snacking on pecans while I'm doing this. And I also spray everything with a little bit of olive oil. I don't normally use corn syrup. That's just not a staple in our household that we use a lot of, but it's super sticky. So if you spray everything, it makes the cleanup just so much easier, and it makes mixing things easier. So I've already blended my eggs here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my eggs in. This is 3 eggs. And to the 3 eggs, I am going to go ahead and add the 2/3 cup of sugar. It's 1/3. 2/3. This is not one of my healthy organic dishes by any means. So, like I said in my little bio, we try and eat healthy a large portion of the time, but when I'm cooking for other people and when I'm doing family gatherings and parties, I cook what people love, and we just use the regular stuff. So to that, I am going to add a dash of salt. And approximately a teaspoon or so of vanilla. And blend this in. I'm going to go ahead and add the melted butter. Mix that. And the corn syrup. Okay, corn syrup and everything else is all mixed really well. We can go ahead and start adding in the pecans. That is 1/2 cup there. And I always put a little extra. These are whole, well, they're halves, they're not whole, but they're not crunched up or anything. So they don't quite fit in there very well. So if they're overflowing, I consider that a cup. It's just my own little weird cooking quirk. You can't go wrong with having more nuts. So I'm gonna put 1.5 cups in here. There's just a little bit left over. We'll probably just snack on those or add them to my salad or whatever that I'm gonna take back to work for lunch. So all of these are all mixed in really well. And I had pulled my dough out of the freezer. I had some dough in the freezer and I was letting it sit outside to defrost because I forgot to take it out last night and it's almost 100 degrees outside. So I figured it would soften up pretty quickly out there. So I'm gonna put the camera down, go grab my dough and get it into my pie plate here. Okay guys, I went ahead and rolled out the pie crust and put it in the pan here and went ahead and poured the pie filling in, and now it is going to go in the oven at 350 for 40 to 50 minutes, just depending. It needs to be completely set and gelled so that when you jiggle it, it's not all wiggly in the middle. You want it to be set and gelled, and that takes anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour. Okay guys, I have the pie in the oven and I'm moving on to the beer bread. I'm not gonna actually film myself doing this because I have a video on it, and the only thing that I am doing different this time is I am doubling the recipe, and I'll post a card that goes with this recipe up in the corner. This is the basic recipe right here. 3 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 beer, and 1 stick of butter. And you essentially mix all the dry ingredients, add in the beer, pour half the butter into the bottom of the pan, pour your batter in, and then pour the rest of the butter over the top and bake at 350 until brown. And when you insert a toothpick, it comes out clean. And the only thing different is I'm going to use one of these big loaf pans right here, and I am going to double the recipe. So just going to double everything, get it going, get it popped in the oven so that I can set the timer on this and get back to work because I am running super behind. So I will go ahead and get this done and I'll show you what it looks like once it's in the pan. Okay guys, if you can see in there, I have poured 1/2 of the butter that I had melted, which is 1 stick of butter is already in there. And then I'm just gonna grab handfuls of the dough. It's really thick. And I am just going to layer handfuls of the dough all the way down in here so that the whole bottom is completely covered. And I try and make it as even as possible. It's going to cook up and it's going to be all kind of bumpy and lumpy on the top, but that's okay. As long as it's relatively even, close to being even all the way across, then it'll cook evenly throughout the whole loaf of bread. So I'm going to finish doing this, and then I'm going to pour the rest of the melted butter over the top. Okay guys, this is what it looks like. You can see all that butter in there. You can just hear your arteries hardening looking at it, but oh my gosh, it is so delicious when it comes out. I despise beer. I hate beer. It's actually one of the things that's on my 30 random facts about me is I cannot stand the taste of beer, but I love beer bread, and this has got to be one of the most amazing beer bread recipes out there. It is just delicious, so easy. So give it a try. I have about, oh no, I don't have 2 minutes left on my lunch. I'm probably 5 minutes over right now. I'm gonna pop this in the oven, set the timer, and give my steak pieces a shake and get the marinade rolling around in there a little bit more and head back to the office. I'll come back when I get everything out of the oven. All the steak marinating, all that chunks of garlic and olive oil and onion and all kinds of good stuff in there. So this will marinate until after work, and I'll get it on skewers and I'll show you guys what that looks like. And yes, I'm using an ice cream bucket to do it. Works really well. Have a handle, pick it up, shake it, nothing spills. These are the wooden skewers that I'm going to use for the steak tonight, and I have them just soaking in a dish of water so that they won't burn when they're on the grill. The lobsters are sitting in the sink melting because they were encased in ice. I am making myself a quick egg sandwich and heading back to work. Okay guys, it's almost 5:30. I got out of the office early to try and go ahead and get in here and get this finished. This is the double loaf of beer bread. I have most of the potatoes already cooked. I had cooked those on lunch. There were a couple that weren't quite cooked all the way, so I'm just zapping those in the microwave. I'm gonna do restuffed potatoes. There is the pecan pie all ready to go, along with the first batch of cookies. And of course, you know, you have to taste one to make sure they're okay. I'm getting ready to go ahead and snap the green beans and get those sauteed up, make the salad, and get this steak on the skewers so that I'll have them ready for the grill. One of the things that I am making for this dinner is restuffed potatoes. This whole pan is full of potatoes like this. This one got a little bit mangled, but I just baked the potatoes, cut them in half, scooped out the majority of the potatoes, and I am mixing it up like this. It's really good with ranch and sour cream. I didn't think I would ever really like that, but the kids loved it and they've kind of won me over so that when we do big family gatherings, I'll make mashed potatoes or something like that with the ranch in it. And this is just, it has butter, sour cream, a packet of ranch dressing, and I'm going to mix it all together. I'll add some salt and pepper and restuff the potatoes, bake them, and then right before they're ready to come out, I have cubed up a bunch of cheese here, and I just have a pack of these real bacon pieces. It's just like little chunks of bacon, and when you bake them, they'll crisp up to they're real crispy and good on top. And I'll sprinkle those on top of the potatoes right before I'm ready to serve. Pop the broiler on for just a couple seconds to melt the cheese and crisp up the bacon, and then I will serve the potatoes. And this is just a great little side dish. Everybody kind of gets their own potato, but it's already all seasoned up. My dad has Parkinson's, and we tend to make things that are just easier for him. Like we're doing the steak skewers, we're doing shish kebabs on the grill. We'll go ahead and pop the lobsters out of the shell. Just things that are, make life a little bit easier for him. So this will be all seasoned up, ready to go. All you have to do is scoop it out. Okay, here are the 2 pans of stuffed potatoes. I have my cheese and bacon ready to go. I'm just gonna cover these with aluminum foil, and when I get to my parents tonight, while the steaks and the lobsters are cooking on the grill, I'll pop these in the oven, heat them back up, and then top them with the cheese and bacon. And I might even put some fresh chives on them. I have to run out to the garden and see what I have. So these are ready to go. They just have to be covered up with foil.
Are you ready? Are you ready? What do you want? You want me to get your salad?
All right, wait, Connor has to say blessing first.